Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is September 14th. Looking at the overall economical calendar, you guys can see we have jobless numbers, PPI coming out today, retail sales coming out today as well. Yesterday we had CPI. Jumping over towards the charts, we're going to start off with the 5-year, and today's going to be a special video. We're going to talk about how I use colors to overall identify major levels when I'm trading. So overall, jumping over towards the 5-year. We're just going to identify the 5-year EMA line over here. I typically put that as a purple dotted line. These are just how I color code things. The reason I do that because this level could be a major support or resistance zone. Next one we're going to jump over is towards the 1-year, right? Same situation with the 1-year. That 1-year EMA could be a major support or resistance zone. So I do that as a solid orange, right? Typically with the 1-year, I extend it all the way to the left. I right click, I click extend to the left. Now, looking at the 1-year, 1-day, each one of these candles takes 1 day of basically time to become filled. So you want to do your support and resistance on this chart. You can see we had resistance over here. Whoa. We had resistance over here at this 280 level. 1 second. My default is supposed to be red. So we had resistance over here at 280. Next resistance level is going to be at 300. We do have another one over here at 284. You can see we broke out from 280, went to 284, and then we came back. So that is a major area as well. And then to the downside, these are basically 1-day candles. So that 267 level is a major support. So if we break 267 on Tesla, we're looking at Tesla on the 1-year, 1-day. If we break 267, we could start going down towards 260 and possibly lower. So definitely want to do your support resistance on the 1-year and just fill up the whole chart just in case, you never know. But that's pretty much all we need for if we're looking for a day trade on Tesla. After I go from the 1-year, I go to the 180-day 4-hour. You guys can see the major levels being highlighted over there. Sometimes you have to do a little bit of adjustments because you were just looking at a larger chart, but now you can see it's a little bit cleaner. If we break basically this 278, we could start possibly going to 260, 284 or 285 up here. And then to the downside, I do put the EMA line over here as a dotted or slash or dash, whatever you want to call it, orange line. And I extend that to the left as well. At 180-day 4-hour is going to be a major trend change. As you guys can see, when we're above it, we're bullish. When we're below it, we're bearish. So right now, Tesla is above not only the 1-year, not only the 5-year, but she's above the 180-day. So that is very bullish for Tesla. If you want, you could put a resistance line over here at 274, 275. If she was to break that, she could possibly go to 80. You can see we basically pushed into this level, rejected it. We squeezed above it, couldn't really hold it, and now it looks like we're trying to trend above it right now. So above 275, we could start going up towards 278. To the downside, want to watch for the break of 270. Why? Because that's going to be the break of the EMA, and then we could start going back down towards that previous support of 266. Right? If we break 266, then we got to watch out for this major level. Why? Because this is my 1-year EMA line over here, right? So definitely want to be cautious for that. Make sure you always zoom out and make sure you don't miss anything to the left. So definitely good thing to do. But overall, this is going to be the next major level, that 260 level over here. Now, what do we see with the RSI on Tesla, right? Tesla's RSI is a little bit more on the overbought side. MACD does look like it wants to cross down, right? These are 2 bearish signs. We need the 3rd one for confirmation, which is going to be the break of the EMA over here. Dropping down towards the 20-day, sometimes you may see something, right? Like SMA or something like that. SMAs can act as support, as you guys can see over here. The stock bounces off of it, or it can act as resistance. But there's no SMA near the candles right now, so nothing to worry about. Right now, the 20-day is crossed up. We're a little bit more on the overbought side. Just because the stock is overbought doesn't mean it can't continue to run. So definitely watch for that 275 to 278 or watch for the break of 270 down towards 266. Sometimes I do put the 20-day EMA as a smaller dotted orange line. This way, if I'm day trading, typically I'm day trading on the 10-minute or the 15-minute. Now I can know my obstacles and I can know what to avoid or what I'm looking for. So that's pretty much it. Right now, in the 10 minutes, a little bit more on the overbought side. So typically, if the 10 minutes overbought closer to the bell, that means that the stock may be more in favor for a possible sell-off. So key tip right there. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Jumping over towards the next stock that we're going to do the same thing with is going to be SPY. So we're going to start off with our 5-year. Right now, SPY, the candles are holding above the 5-year, right? So you could actually do it over here closer. The candles are holding above the 5-year, which is bullish, right? The 5-year MACD has actually crossed down. So that's one sign of bearishness right now, but we're still haven't gotten a key confirmation of the break below the 5-year. So that's why we're highlighting it, 444. So when SPY breaks 444, make sure you guys are cautious of that because that means SPY could possibly start going lower. So from the 5-year weekly, we're going to go towards the 1-year, 1 day. 1 year, 1 day. MACD has not crossed over yet. And the candles are actually trying to break below the 1 year. Actually, the 1 year doesn't actually update until the bell rings. So you may want to adjust it when the bell rings. But as of yesterday, this is where the 1 year was, 446. And we're at 448, meaning we're slightly above it, right? So you want to do quick support resistance levels over here. That should be good for a day trade. And then you jump over towards your 180 day, right? Where are we? We're above that 1 year. The 180 day is going to be updated. So we're above that 1 year, which was at 446, and we're above the 180 day. So we definitely want to put the 180 day. I put it as a dotted orange, right? Extend to the left. Now, let's adjust this a little bit. So we need to break above 448 before we can start pushing up higher. If we do break 448, right, where can we possibly go? We look to the left for possible support resistance levels. We could possibly push up towards these levels, 450, 448 to 450. You guys can see 450 was a resistance zone on the way down. So 448 to 450 is possible. And to the downside, if we want to short SPY, we would look for a break of 447 and be cautious around 446. Sometimes if the SMA is close, I do put that as a blue line that's dotted. So now if I'm shorting on a 10-minute or a smaller chart, I could quickly identify those key areas. And lastly, I normally jump to the 20-day, and I do the same thing with the EMA. And this is kind of like my code sheet on how I identify if we're bullish or bearish or what's going on. All right. Now you could do your analysis on what's going on, right? So jumping over towards the 180 day, what do we see? Are we above? Are we below? So right now we're above the 1 year, above the 180 day, above the 20 day. So all those are bullish signs, right? So if we basically break this resistance over here, which was a previous resistance at 448, right? We could possibly start pushing up towards 450, maybe even 451 to the upside. To the downside, right? This level was a previous resistance. It could possibly become a double top. So drop down so there's a 20-day. So if it does become a double top, meaning the stock pushed and hit this level before and couldn't break it, it could possibly come down. RSI is a little bit more on the overbought side. When RSI is overbought, you got to think about how much room does the stock possibly have to go, right? If you think about it, every time most of the time when the RSI is overbought, we do sell off. So definitely want to be cautious with a long position, especially if we sold off at this area before. So watch for the break below 448, then we can start going to 447, maybe even 446 down here. And that's going to be pretty much it. That's how I do my lines, and that's how I'm able to identify quickly if I'm on a lower time frame and I could see these levels and I don't really have to think too much. And I'm thinking about, hey, wow, that's the 20-day right here. Wow, that's the 180-day. And of course, throughout the day, sometimes you need to adjust them. These EMAs, they do move around. So that's why I typically do my tri-screen, and then I'm able to adjust my 20-day on the left-hand side over here, or I can switch it from 20-day to the 180-day. But you always want to see a bigger picture while you're trading, right? So this is pretty much how I have my trading screen set up. That's pretty much it for today's video. Hopefully you guys learned something. Hopefully you guys have a profitable trading day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.